You mentioned the G7. You saw a number of world leaders. You walked in and you said, "I'm the boss."
Yeah.
How many of them believe that?
All of them. But I was just being funny.
Mr. President, welcome to the Axios show.
Thank you.
We wanted to make this more of a conversation than a typical interview where we're just going to hop around from topics to topic. You mentioned the G7. You saw a number of world leaders. You walked in and you said, "I'm the boss."
Yeah.
How many of them believe that?
All of them. But I was just being funny. What happened is they were all sitting, and then I walked into the room, and it was just sort of funny because it's a very long table, but there's only 7 of them. The table is meant for like 30 people, so the whole end of the table looked like almost a perfect podium-type setup, right? And I saw them all sitting. They're all well-known figures, right? The heads of countries. We had a couple of others in there, too, as you know. Some, like, as an example, Modi of India, great guy. A lot of people came. They're allowed to come if they want and sit. But I walked in there, these leaders, and I just looked at them. I said, "I'm the boss," and you remember. And you know that was done as a joke. This thing got carried all over the world. I can't believe it. I was just being cute, funny. I wasn't trying to be the boss.
You're not a fan of Lula, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not a fan or not a fan. I don't think about him, to be honest with you. I don't really think about him. I couldn't care less. But he's a different kind of a person now, very volatile. I watched as he made a speech, and it was a very volatile, and it's fine. It's all different types. So when you say about leaders, when you say about, what do they all have in common? Look, they're all smart. You can't get to that level without being smart. Who's very smart is President Xi of China. He's a very smart man. You don't get to those levels where you're running a country, even if it was a small country. You have something special. Now, in some cases, it doesn't work out, but you need something special. It's not an easy thing to do.
What is it about Xi that you find most admirable?
So we have a very good relationship. And you probably heard me say yesterday, I said, I want to thank him because he didn't get involved with the whole thing with Iran. He could have gotten involved. He could have sent a nice oil ship surrounded by 12 destroyers and see if he could blast his way through the blockade, which was an unbelievable military. I think it's going to go down as one of the great military maneuvers. It was every bit as important as all the bombing we did. It really... they were dying. They had no money, no nothing for months. But President Xi, I asked him, I said, "I'd really appreciate you not getting involved." And he was great. He didn't get involved. And
obviously, if I ask you who are the 2 greatest or leaders you like the most on the world stage, I'd assume one of them is Xi.
Yeah, I think in terms of leadership, I think that's true.
Well, who's the other? When you think of power and leverage and the ability to execute on that?
Well, I think Modi is very good, yeah. And they've had some very good numbers announced. He stays out of wars, which is smart. He's 1.5 billion people. He's actually the biggest. India's actually the biggest. Modi's a great leader, and we do a lot of business with them, but now we do fair business. They used to really rip us off. I don't blame them for that. We had stupid politicians, but that allowed that to happen. But now we do a lot of business. They're not that happy about it because they used to do a lot better. So, but Modi's great. President Xi is great. Classics, if you were going to make a movie about either one of them, you wouldn't be able to find the man in Hollywood, I'm telling you.
Do you view Anthropic and, to a degree, its CEO, Dario Amodei, as a threat to national security?
Well, not now, but a week ago, maybe. I was with him yesterday. He made a speech. I made a little speech. We were in the room on the G7, and seems like a nice guy, smart guy. But he responded to us very quickly because, it's tremendous liability. People get put in prison immediately for that. You can't play games with that. And he responded very responsibly, I thought. So far, I think he will.
Do you have the power and the inclination to shut them down or possibly take them?
Well, I don't want to do that because I'm somebody that, we're beating China by a lot on AI. I was with President Xi. We talked about it. We're beating China by a lot.
Well,
you need more than 2 hours for him, right? Anyway,
well,
thanks.
well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much, sir.
I appreciate it.